Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Hone Your Speaker Skills. Now, we're talking today about, are you keeping silent? Is your book doing the talking for you? Is that what you're telling yourself? Is that what you're telling the world? Because if it is, ain't working for you, is it? Let me ask you a different question. If you were to ask somebody anonymously, what do people say about me? What's my reputation? What am I known for? Now, I have asked people this, and your words have power seems to be something that people say about me. It's a phrase that I'm known for. And I'm known for working with authors and getting them on stage. But that's because I talk about what I do. I know as authors, we can be reluctant to actually talk about the stuff, particularly if your chapter or your full-blown book has been one that you poured your heart and soul into sharing, maybe your origin story, maybe the void that you are filling as a business person. And that in and of itself has been, how will I put it? A heart work, something that has really been cathartic for you, been revelatory even, been a growth situation for you. And it may not have been easy getting it out on paper. Maybe you've revisited some experiences that were really difficult for you in your past, but have been the fuel for where you are now, what your legacy is, what you're sharing with the world. Great job. Now let's tell everybody about it. And I get it that if it's been a really tricky situation that you've been sharing in your book, and it may have been one that you had to refine as you processed that whole experience. But the thing is, telling people, verbalizing it is the next step. And that can be in the too hard basket for a while. Don't leave it there. Because the thing is, your message, your legacy is what is important here. Are you denying your audience, people who need to hear the message that you have put your heart and soul into in writing? People need to hear that message, don't they? Because the thing is, you've been through it, you've come out the other side, you've got some wisdom, you've learnt through the process. Somebody who is in this position is looking to you going, how did they do it? And that's where, when you speak about it, you give that inspiration that you can do it too. So my encouragement to you is your block, is what you're telling yourself, those internal scripts, the story you are telling yourself. Is that for your benefit, to keep you safe? Because if it is, you're not serving, you're not making the most of that experience, because that experience was not just for you, it was for a wider audience. Because you've learned through the process, you can be the inspiration for somebody else going through not exactly the same, because all our journeys are different, but the essence of what you've experienced and the lessons that you've learned are really what your audience is getting to hear. Now, if you are somebody who feels themselves to be shy, introverted maybe, I can talk to one person, conversation, more than one, and I'm starting to feel uncomfortable. A networking group might be a bit of a challenge. I can just about do my 30-second elevator pitch, but beyond that, no, I'm not so keen. I'm certainly no public speaker. I mean, that scares the life out of me just thinking about it. Do you recognize any of those internal scripts for you? Well, if you do, think about this one. When you were a baby, I'm trotted out a much trotted out way of describing things, the cliche of when you were a baby and learning to walk, you kept falling over, didn't you? But you kept getting up again. You were not going to let a bump or two stop you from getting up and walking. Those baby steps that we keep talking about, that's the same for you speaking. As I said, if you're somebody who considers themselves shy, might be able to talk to a one-on-one, I'd encourage you to think about podcasting. Be a podguest. Get on podcasts and talk about your book, talk about the message, the legacy, the wisdom that you've gained through your experience. And we're speaking about the learning from the scars, not the wounds. You went through that process as you were writing. So now as we are speaking it out, we're having a conversation with somebody. I'd invite you to consider it's not re-traumatizing yourself as you're talking about it, because I'm very keen that is not what happens. Because obviously you're not going to talk about it, are you? I mean, self-preservation says, I'm not going there. But there are ways of describing things. There are ways of languaging what your experience was. That means you can share from the scars, not the wounds. You can share the wisdom that you've gained without the emotion, the deep, deep emotion that led you there. So this is the joy of being a podguest. Why am I talking about this? Well, From Page to Stage, my new podcast launches next week. And we are talking to authors, published authors. Now, the first 10, maybe 15 episodes are already interviewing people who've done it. They are the author. They are also the speaker. It's not an either or label for them. It's both and. So I want to share with you their experiences and how they've done it, how they've gone from page to stage, or actually a lot of them have gone stage to page to stage. But my point is, it's a both and. They talk about their written work. It's no longer a my work speaks for itself scenario. So the first few are there for inspiration, and you can go back and watch them anytime because they will be up here on YouTube, and listen to them as well. And know that if other people can do it, so can you. If you're a published author and you want to put your toe in the water on this one, become a pod guest. Leave us a comment at the bottom of this live. Get hold of me. I'll pop in the information how to get hold of me. Let's be in a conversation together so I can help you to tease out your legacy message so that you can share from page to stage. Oh, and we launch next week. Next week, 7th for you guys in North America, the 8th for the rest of the world. I'll pop the information underneath. Great to speak with you. Let's go from page to stage. For now, bye from me.